What's up?
How's it going?
Fine, I guess. Not too bad, not too good. It's going. So, what is the difficulty of shooting a Telugu film? This is your second period Telugu film, I believe.
Correct.
So, first was Mahanati, and now this is your second film. What is the difficulty in shooting a Telugu film? You don't speak the language.
Yeah, I mean, I've been shooting movies in India since 2011.
Okay.
I went to school in LA and I was working over there when I I got the chance to shoot a movie in Bombay, and it's interesting. Then I found out that the scripts are actually, the action is in English. Only the dialogues are in the local language, right? So I think that is an asset for foreign DOPs, where it was Vilmos Zsigmond who said that DOPs tend to be foreigners,
Right.
because they find something different
Right.
in the land that that they go to.
Correct.
The culture is different.
Correct.
You haven't been born there, so you see things differently.
Differently.
And I think that helps. And it helps also that the dialogue is translated to you, but when you're on set, you don't. I mean, it's something else. You know what they're saying, but mostly, you know how they're acting. And that helps you with helping them with cinema language, right?
Okay.
Like, how can I improve what they're saying?
Right.
What they're saying with their body,
Right.
So yeah, I think it's an asset. The fact that I don't know much Telugu, and I apologize for that, because it's already I've been working on the Telugu industry for quite a bit.
Right.
I know more Hindi than Telugu, I have to admit, and I'm gonna.
He says chalo, chalo, chalo.
Well,
Oh,
you
chalo,
see, I
chalo,
mean,
chalo అంటుంటారు.
chalo, chalo, chalo. Rana says.
సినిమా పాట పాడేస్తున్నాం అనుకుంటున్నారు మనోళ్ళందరూ. లేదు, లేదు, బయలుదేరేస్తాం.
But I'm learning, because I love languages. I'm not as gifted as Pallavi here, but yeah, I know 5 languages, but yeah, Telugu will be my 6th. Yeah.
Okay, so shooting a film, okay, I understand you read that English part and then the dialogue is in Telugu and you know their acting. What about small things like naku coffee kavali, leda naku tea kavali, like driver? What is your conversation with your driver?
It's funny, because they are very apologetic about not knowing English, because English is an official language of this land, and I don't get it. Because I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I don't know your language, like, how can you be sorry? I'm sorry.
రోజు పొద్దున్నే సాయంత్రం ఒక అరగంట సారీ చెప్పుకోవడానికి సరిపోతుంది. అయ్యో సార్, I am sorry. I am sorry.
But with my broken, Telugu, Hindi, and his broken English, I mean, I had the most amazing conversation with a rickshaw wala once.
Who?
With a rickshaw wala.
Oh, the rickshaw walas. Can you recreate that for us?
Yeah,
It will work fantastic
It was
for the
interesting
promo.
because he's like, oh, you have a camera there, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's I do films, blah blah blah. It's like, oh, you're a cinematographer. And I'm like, oh, how do you know? It's like, well, I worked in the film industry. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, what do you do? And he was telling me about life in the film industry and how his family didn't went through some troubles, and now he was there, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. He's like, why are you sorry? Like, it's another job, and I love it. I get to travel all around the city, and I get to see it, and I'm like, wow. From this perspective, yes, it's like so you can be happy, however
Wherever you are.
And you spoke in English?
No, it was my his broken English, Hindi, Telugu, and my super broken Telugu, some Hindi and English, and we communicated. But frankly, when I was living in Bombay, my neighbor was from Calcutta. She didn't know Hindi, she didn't know English, so we communicated through food. Because she was like, yeah, she was like, single man over here, poor guy, so she brought me fish. And I'm like, oh, I love fish, because I'm from a fish country, So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So I would cook some gazpacho for her, And she would be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, how do you do it? Like, give me a recipe. And then she would cook me something, and that was what our exchange was.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
All the languages.
I'm from a fish country.
Fish country.